Hello and good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells and the Morning Routine.
My name's Lauren.
And I'm Ian. And here we are in studio to use our body weight with a nice simple routine to get you started any day of the week.
Sounds great, Ian.
Yeah.
Let's
Usually
get
we
started.
start with our breath. And today we'll start with our breath, but instead of the breathing drills or working on our cadence, let's focus on our breath in and out of the nose. The entire practice. At the end, we'll maybe catch up with those breathing drills and practice some of our holds.
Okay.
It's probably too hard for me to really concentrate on that nose breathing and talk, but as I'm in the back or as Lauren's in the back, I know she'll be focusing on that nose breath. In a position that's comfortable for you, maybe the size of sit isn't quite for you, so we could extend those hips to a tall kneel or stand or seat at your feeling. Very slow, pull the crown of the head to tall. Two of the top vertebrae there, just think about a chin tuck in as you pull the crown high, and then relax. Repeat for 3 to 5 more, as slow as you go. Chin tuck in, crown a high head, and relax. Keep going. Look for that nice subtle length, grow tall. Keep the rib cage down, relax in the middle, and maybe we'll call that the last one here, chin tuck in, and then relax. Next at the head neck, I like to get into our rotation. Every time we rotate, as to check your blind spot in the car, or rotate to say hello to your neighbor, think about growing up. I'm going to grow right up that pillar behind me. For the next 4 repetitions, chin tuck in and grow tall as you rotate over to a shoulder. This is my left. I'm going to continue to grow tall as I return my head neck to center. Repeat to the other side. Chin tuck in, crown of head high, add your rotation. Pull taller yet again to return center. Repeat 1 more each way. Chin tuck in, crown of high head, head high. And again, to grow tall, returning center. Last repetition, chin tuck in, top knot to the ceiling, and rotate back to center. We'll come back to the head neck throughout the workout today, but now let's take a moment to examine our hands. From a position comfortable for you. I'm going to mix it up every now and then, and right now I'll get into my lunge. With the wrists flat or extended through the wrists here, extend or shine your palms forward. From here, take the fingertips and reach towards center. Pause. Are your blood donations or that radial pulse position here, can you see it still? As you navigate this corner, as you bring the palm towards the face, continue to keep that blood donation and radial pulse place visible, particularly out there and as you bring around to center. Now, commit to having those radial pulses upright and move out to the side and then into that wrist flexion and then back to center and then back around. Wiggle that out. Relax. Switch your stance if you're kneeling. Give your knees a break. Start standing or seated. And now we'll work on our elbows. At the elbow, start with your palms facing forward. Slowly turn your palms to the back. Those rotations and then these hinges make up the main responsibilities of the elbow. From here, extend those triceps. Safely cramp up those arms. Straighten. Then from here, biceps curl with some resistance, not too much at first, to your safe full flexion. Then turn your palms to face forward. Now cramp up those biceps and triceps like you're pressing against a brick wall, and then continue to press as you extend or lengthen out at the elbow.
Just seeing if my triceps are bulging.
Repeat 1 more time, back up. Oh, they're bulging. And hey, back up. Sizzling, as someone I know used to say. And then palms to the face for the final one and extend down. But then turn the palm around again and then back. Those are those elbows. I'm going to stand. I need a little bit of a break, but my lunge has felt pretty good today. What about yours? Take your time, come on up and just mix it up just a little bit. I'd like to talk to our shoulders. And at our shoulders here, they'll shrug and then they'll go down. Now, ultimately keep that down direction winning, if you will, but try to shrug them up. But let them stay down. Let them stay down, but try to shrug up. Create that isometric and then relax. Now gently shrug them. Let that up direction continue to win, but pull down. You're going up and down. I know, it's crazy. And then relax. Shoulders also protract, retract. Again, that's jump one shoulder forward and then retract it back. Same thing other side, forward and then back.
Oops, sorry, I did both.
Forward and back, forward and back. Make sense? Now we're looking for stability through those shoulder blades and the shoulder socket as we now do one of the harder moves for today at the shoulder. For that, I'll get down low again. Stand in your position that's comfortable for you and hand out to the side, maybe 15 degrees with a palm forward. Let's revisit to turning the palm over. That was this joint working right here. What we're looking for is that we can turn the palm and now that blood donation in and then ultimately out at about the same rate and back. So place a hand on a shoulder. Feel that nice pec insertion on the shoulder and commit to scooping that shoulder blade underneath. Then I need eyeballs on it too. And then from the shoulder, the ball and socket, humerus bone here, we're trying to roll forward or internal rotation and then our slow external rotation. Repeat one or two more on that side. Commit to the stability through the armpit, the serratus, the lats, all this musculature here. And we're trying to internally rotate on the shoulder. And for me, that's a really nice bicep stretch. What about you? Turn forward and return down. Same thing on the other side. Arm out to the side, 15 degrees or so to start. Pack that shoulder back, making sure that we're nice and engaged on those armpit muscles. And then turn over the palm only. And that's important. But turn the palm back. Now very slow from the shoulder, that humerus bone, ball and socket. I need eyeballs on this one in particular. Try to turn that blood donation down without your wrist leading it. So drive that action from the shoulder for now. And then nice and slow, turn open. So same thing, a couple more. Maybe this way I can look at you and see what's going on. So we want to pack that shoulder underneath. And we're trying to turn the blood donation down or over without the palm leading.
In real life, I like to do this to clients to teach them.
Oh yeah. Just to
that
feel
rotation.
it.
I was grabbing his elbow if you
Just
couldn't
to
see that.
feel that out there. So it's a pretty subtle movement. We love our YMCAs and our shoulder cars and all these big movements here. But first, let's just talk to those little small rotations in those joints. Let's talk to the rib cage a little bit as well then.
Hello.
Can we throw that to you, Lauren? Because this one's you.
I love the rib
It's
cage.
all about Lauren. She loves this rotation, side bend thing. As
Can
we
we
do
slide
this
first?
movement, we're sliding first. We're looking to be so strong and stable right here. And did you know that you have a rib cage? And the rib cage is supposed to move?
I hope so.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hope you knew that. It's pretty
Let's do
crazy
it.
that we have a cage to protect our organs.
Cage. It's got to be a flexible
So
cage.
neat. Okay, standing tall, feet wider than your hips. First, I like to extend my arms to give a nice visual. Taking your rib cage, hips don't move, so glutes squeeze, and pull or slide those ribs from one side, pulling over to the other side. So a couple things you're going to notice is that my arms stay parallel with the floor. So I'm not dipping or twisting like a little teapot. I'm trying to stay nice and tight between two walls. I'm not coming forward or back. And I'm using my core to pull myself from one side. So as I go over here, then I'm going to use this long side to pull me back. And one last time over here, and then back to center. Pull your arms in. You may notice that one side was easier to slide than the other. Check it out, think about it. Now cross your arms across your body. For the first time, keep your head looking forward, squeeze your glutes, keep your hips looking forward, but rotate your middle body or your thorax. But keep your eyes forward and then rotate back to center. And try that again in the other way. Head stays stationary, hips stay stationary, ribs rotate. Oh, tricky dissociating your body like that. Now we're going to take our head with us, but our hips stay. Squeeze glutes. Rotate one direction. Head follows you but stays in line with sternum. And then rotate back to center. Other side. Rotate one direction. Pushing those hips forward as you go that way. And pulling back to center. Relax for a second. Maybe we can do something else and then do that extra one after.
Ooh, okay. We just talked to this joint up here being that shoulder, and its buddy joint is just like this hip. So with your balance aid off to the side, we're standing in place. Let's work on that rotation at the hip, and we'll do the same sort of movements that we did from the wrists to the shoulders, from the hips to the feet. And then Lauren's little spine movements in between. Ooh,
the rads
it's
are warm.
a rad day today. The rads are on today.
Sorry, everyone.
The monkey.
The monkey fell.
The monkey. Okay, so standing tall, using your balance aid as you need. Make this drill about the feel of the rotation in the hips, not necessarily balance. So please use something to hold on to if you need. From here, I'll take my heel, dorsiflex at the ankle, that means foot to shin, and place my foot just at the big toe there, at the end of the big toe. Before I do the rotation in the hip out front, we want to make sure we're strong and stable and extended forward on the standing leg. An external rotation, as I just did there, is where that inseam starts to show forward. Then nice and slow, do the internal rotation, making sure the foot isn't leading. An internal rotation is then hiding that inseam around. Slow and steady, return to that external rotation, driving the action from the hip. Are you still tall on that other side? And then nice and slow, repeat the internal rotation, hiding the inseam. Make sure again that that standing hip is pushing forward. One more time on that leg, external rotation. I'm so glad Lauren's not facing me because I can feel myself cheating in my sense of my bent knees. So yes, Lauren, I'm trying to straighten my knees.
Good.
And then we're rolling in on that hip, pushing the standing hip forward and feeling hala hala on those hip holsters there. And then bring the leg just back underneath. Add a little shake
Hala hala.
or a wiggle as you need and repeat on the other side. It's very easy for that foot, if this is my leg, for the foot to get carried over and want to do more work than maybe what's going on up in the hip. So talk to the hip, feel it out. It takes practice. We have time, let's do it. Dorsiflex action, foot to shin. Heels out front. And again, at the knee, straight at the knee, but then at the hip, externally rotate. Push the other hip forward. Then from here, internally rotate as to not use the foot too much here. Keep the other extended hip forward again. And then our external rotation, stiffening those knees. Nice and slow on the internal rotation. Then next, keep extending those hips forward. And that's a cue for me. I need this as much as everyone else out there.
I'm on external.
And one more time external. We'll finish one more time on that internal rotation. I feel myself getting taller every time. Get taller every time, Lauren. And then pull the foot underneath. Let's go back to that rib cage with Lauren. And we'll continue that low body exploration with me.
Wide feet again. I like this wide stance. It helps block our hips from moving with us. We're going to do some rotations and then some side bends, pulling ourselves around and coming back to center. So prepare to circle a little bit here. Hands across chest. Just 1 second. When we do this, we're thinking this part of our spine is finding mobility and movement, not our low back. Okay? Cross your arms. Plant your feet. Butts and hips face forward. Rotate one direction. Now off that new corner, gently side bend And then pull yourself around the back of the circle, lifting your heart towards the ceiling. And you're going to end up in a new corner with that shoulder. And then unrotate, pulling yourself back to center. Switch directions. Rotate. Side bend to the new corner. Lifting up and over a fence that's behind you. I don't know why a fence, it just came to mind first. Shoulder to new corner. I'm going to add a little something. Pull yourself up tall, then rotate back to center. Can we do that one more time each way? I'm going back my first direction again. Hips forward, glutes squeezed. Rotation. Side bend, new corner. Up and over, lifting heart towards ceiling. Relaxing your shoulders. Shoulder to new corner. Then you're going to pull up to tall and then unrotate yourself. Last time. Rotation. Up and over to a new corner. Up and over your fence. Relaxing shoulders, but still bracing abs. Side bending to that new corner. Then pulling yourself so shoulders are level. And then unrotating. And relax. Yeah.
Whew. It only feels like this if you make it. These are voluntary muscles, these abs. Make them, tell them what to do. Feel them, get them stronger over time.
You know it's not voluntary? Breathing.
Breathing.
Through your nose.
No, that is voluntary.
I know, but the
you have to
breathing
think
part
about
isn't.
that. The respiring is not, yes.
Anyway.
We did our hips. So from our hips, we'll get to those knees. The knees are a tough one. Let's get to the floor for those knees. How do you want to get to the floor? Lunge, maybe. Let's check out, I'm going to do this leg. Let's check out that lunge style. Take your time and descend to the floor in your lunge. Okay, now sit on your ground. Sitting on the ground in a posture that's comfortable for you, and I know that the ground isn't always the best, but it is the best. Take now, pivoting on the heel, get your foot out there. If your knee moves like this, that means you're trying to do it from the hip. If your foot's doing that, that means we're doing it from the ankle. So, from the knee, turn out.
That means your foot stays in line with your shin when it rotates.
Nice straight line right
so
here,
your foot's
Lauren.
definitely going to rotate, but it's not initiating the rotation.
And when we go the other direction here, it's going to be much smaller. And now if your foot is showing that other shape, you're probably trying too hard from the ankle.
What's the other shape, Ian?
Wow. Too much stress out here. So for a couple more in a row, this is one we'll work on for a lot because it's a very important rotation, but one that's really hard to feel. The external rotation and then the internal rotation. We want this knee to be a stability joint. Talk to the foot, get it to work. Those tib anteriors, the calf, could be a lot of work there. Just the same thing on the other side here. So again, we have that dorsiflex ankle shape, avoiding the elf toes, extra toe extension there, and then pivoting on the heel, and hands always help. Hands can feel, right? Your massage therapist, they use their hands to feel what's going on. You can too. So then here we'll go that internal rotation. Again, very minimal, just like the shoulder. We want a little bit of wiggle room, but not a lot necessarily. And then the turn out and turn in. And I know what I think we're doing as we watch football today. Maybe some of these, maybe at halftime, just every now and then to keep that groove greased so we can stay nice and strong. I know what I want to do next at the ankle. Should we do something else at those ribs there, Lauren?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I know what we can do.
Good.
I'm going to flip to...
From where? Yeah.
I'm going to sit like this. If you can't sit like this, get back to your standing wide hip stance. I lied. I'm going to sit like this. From here, we're going to go Ferris Wheels. So now our rib cage is going to try to draw a circle in this direction like a clock face on the wall. I still like to cross my arms. Don't know why. But I'm going to lift up first, not with my shoulders. I'm just going to pull up on my abs versus, okay, pull up on your abs. Now slide a little bit over. Then pull down on your abs. Then slide across. Then lift up again. and back to center. Take a second off. Recross. Relift. Other way. Slide. Pull down. Slide across. Lift up. Back to center. Oh, that was nice. That's good for me.
I like those hands at the side, and I didn't know that until right there. Whew. Again, do you feel that as abs? It'll only feel abs if you make it. So find the way to make it tough. One more thing for the foot, and again, you might be seated at this point. This is a little bit of a tougher one for the foot ankle. Join me on the ground here if we can. So seated as we can be, I'm gonna sit because it's easier to see. Sorry for that. So seated on the floor or in our chair.
My feet are cold.
Cross over an ankle. Okay, I hope this is appropriate here. So now we're going to grab on to those shin bones, those tibs or fibs down here. Now, grab on, and I mean really grab on. Grip it. Then from here, we're going to roll those bones in.
Towards you.
Towards you. Now take a pair of socks, or imagine a pair of socks, between your toes and make a fist. How is your plantar fascia? Let it take some tension, but not too much. From here, point the foot. Is that still okay? We've rolled in on the ankle, and now at the ankle,
We've rolled in on the shins.
We've rolled in on the shins, so now we're going to roll out on that ankle. Taking that ankle for a ride down low, and we're drawing a half circle or a D till we return to that dorsiflex or karate foot, and then point. Repeat one more time, same direction. Rolling in on the shin to roll out on that ankle and safely make it intense. From dorsiflex, go to point. Now switch the rotation, so I'm gripping and rolling my shin out, and then patiently, cautiously, lifting those toes now towards the ceiling, saying hello to the arch for sure, as we then pull around to that dorsiflex shape again, and then point. Final repetition that side. You may re-grip on that ankle, but then to take the ankle from here towards there, and slowly have your toe tips face the ceiling there, making room, creating tension in that ankle for whatever you want to do on your feet, and then point and wiggle. And other side, same idea here. So again, I'll grab the shin. Which way do we roll? Into ourselves for the first time, right? So we're grabbing our shin and rolling it in. Then grab the socks and lightly make a fist with your toes. Start at that plantar flex or ballet position. And from here, we're going to carve out that space down and away from the body. And I'm breaking all of my seated rules here. Face your workstation. So this external rotation is ankle down here, bringing the foot towards that dorsiflex shape, and then keep those toes gripping the socks as you then go to your ballet point. Same thing, re-grip, go out on that ankle, make it cramp. This will help your plantar fasciitis. This will improve your run, and then point. Now we're gonna go one more time here as you now roll out on that shin. Keep those socks or fisted toes and try to take those toes for a ride up to the ceiling this way. Easier, harder, nice and patient as we go. That's kind of our first semicircle, if you will, and then point. And one final time, up there, up there. Ooh, nice and slow. And then point. One of the trainers that we follow on social media advocates for 1,000,000 repetitions. Another one said 1,000 a day. Some of those to help those ankles, to help those hips. That's an awful lot. But if you say 1,000, you might actually do like 2.
I was going to say 5's nice.
5.
6.
6. Do some. We're going to do one more thing from a lunge position here and then carry on with the rest of our day. So clear your space, have a little bit of fun in the lunge.
I just discovered a big fat cat that lives in the neighbor's window.
High lunge, I'm sorry. High lunge, high lunge. Standing lunge.
I was distracted by the fuzzy cat.
Normally you see something else looking up that way. So
I'll show you later.
we'll check it out later.
He's cute.
Okay, so in a high lunge position here, standing leg in front, toe ball heel to the back.
Heel down.
Heel down. Where can we satisfy that requirement? The heel is down and the front shin stays vertical. Are your hips tucked under, or are we dumping into that lumbar? No thank you on that lumbar, so make sure that we're nice and tucked under. Our final move here today from this stance includes checking your feet. Are your feet facing forward? Check. Is the front shin vertical? Is the back leg straight? Check, check. Are the flashlights of the hips pointing forward? And then, are we nice and level? Check, check. Then the shoulders, are they facing forward? And then lastly, the head. If you've checked off all those boxes, now at the head, for 1 repetition each way, grow tall and add a rotation. Only the head moves. Bring awareness to those other parts that might want to move and slowly return to center. Repeat to the other side. Keep those body parts forward like shoulders and hips and kneecaps, and the head turns and returns to center. Hands where you wish, cross the chest is nice, and from here, the head and hips stay stable, and now we're going to rotate through the rib cage again, opening up. Slow return to center, and then across the body or the other direction, keeping those hips forward. Rotate to center. Last, the hips themselves. If you were to open the hips, the back leg would start to open to the back corner here. And then if I close my hips, those hips return to forward.
Move?
Shoulders don't move. That's what makes this drill hard. So shoulders are staying. And again, open up those hips and then turn.
Oh, that feels so
or
good.
Close. Repeat 1 or 2 more, because now that maybe you're feeling what's really going on, shoulders stay, hips open and level, and bring the other hip around. To finish or dismount, let's press or pull. I'm undecided at this point, honestly. Off the ground, knees together, and then clear that room underneath to grow tall. And we'll switch to the very same thing on the other side for our last movement for today. Step back, toe ball heel, to the place where the front shin is vertical, that back hip is forward. I need to shorten up my stride a little bit to make sure all of those things, including my balance, can check off. So, with feet forward, kneecaps forward, this one straight, this one bent, hips level, that checklist as we described earlier, rotate at the head neck. Slowly grow tall as you rotate over your head neck. And rotate to center. Same thing other way. Nice and tall. Add your rotation. Return to center. Shoulders, head is staying still, hips staying forward. Add the rotation. Return center. And then same thing the other way. Return center. For the last couple in the hips, open the hip, letting the hip go back there, trying to keep those shoulders square. And then close the hip. Whether it's the scissor action to help you achieve that, and this pressing away to help you get there, work on making sure, as I had to check in there, that the shoulders can move with the hips, but also independent of those shoulders. Hips. Last 1 or 2 there. On the last one, make sure you're in a position where those flashlights are facing forward. Push off the back leg, connect the knees, and make room for the foot. Awesome. Check it out. Thank you very much for joining us today at the morning routine on a Sunday live, and then anytime in the archive.
Thank you.
Oh, can't wait to share that move with them.
Thank you.
The toe pressure.
Stay
on
tuned.
That. Yes.
We'll just leave you hanging like that.
No, we're not. So we have a newsletter coming out as usual, the weekly link list, it's been called lately perhaps. And there'll be some nice little tidbits on there about surprises coming for the next couple Sundays, trying same fun movements in new, different ways. Stay tuned for the morning routine coming soon to you, continuing to stream to you into the winter. It's the weekend right now, though. Let's go.
Have some
a great
coffee.
day. Enjoy your coffee. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Bye.